guys remember Digital Trends? Yes, the infamous publication that gave Sonic Frontiers a 2 out of 10 or a 20 out of 100 on Metacritic. They said it wasn't outright broken like Sonic 06 or Sonic Boom, but it's a heavily misguided game that muffles good ideas with questionable narrative, technical, and gameplay design decisions. Sonic Team continues to show that it's not quite sure what to do with Sonic, taking a wild swing with a game that tries to rival open world games rather than double down on the strength of newer titles like Generations or Sonic Mania, or older successes like the Sonic Adventure series. You guys remember them, right? I'm sure the Sonic community does. And you remember Sonic Dream Team, right? The extremely promising but also very divisive game that is going to be exclusive to Apple Arcade coming out later this month. Well, if you remember both of these things, today is going to be a video for you. So Digital Trends got a hands-on impression of Sonic Dream Team. This is probably the first of its kind. What do they have to say about it? Well, we're going to dissect everything that they say, but before we do that, please subscribe to the channel right now with all notifications. If you are a Sonic fan, I'll give you a second. And remember, we post daily videos, so you gotta like the video. You gotta drop a comment down below and join the discussion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So let's get into Digital Trends' impression of Sonic Dream Team. Remember, this is coming from a game journalist website that a lot of people said does not like Sonic. They got it out for Sonic, whatever the case may be. So here we go. The next great Sonic the Hedgehog game may be hiding on Apple Arcade. Well, honestly, it's kind of not the word to say because Apple Arcade has 100 million users. So this guy says, love it or hate it, you have to respect that the Sonic the Hedgehog series, Sega and Sonic Team refuse to get stuck in a creative rut, constantly zigging when fans expect them to zag. Last year, the series took an unexpected open zone pivot with Sonic Frontiers, only to return to familiar 2D platforming with Sonic Superstars. Just 1 month after this game's release, the blue blur is taking another surprising turn with Sonic Dream Team. Launching exclusively in Apple Arcade December 5th, Sonic Dream Team sees the series returning to 3D roller coaster design of the Sonic Adventure era, so this is going to be an adventure-inspired gameplay based off of the people who played it already. It's both a nostalgic return to form and something entirely new, making for the most ambitious Sonic mobile game yet, which isn't really saying much because the Sonic mobile games aren't that ambitious. It's not the project I'd imagine anyone was expecting, but it just might be the one that fans have been waiting for. This is actually really crazy to think about. So he says, I went hands-on with Dream Team at an Apple Showcase event, playing both on iPad with touch controls and a TV with a controller. So controller support is obviously something that's going to be available for the game. This is not new to mobile games. You could play Call of Duty Mobile with your controller. You could play Sonic Speed Simulator with your controller. You could play almost anything with the controller if it's a mobile game for the most part. Even the Christian Whitehead Sonic 1, 2 CD ports can be played with a controller. I think you'd even do it with a Switch controller, Joy-Cons, Xbox, PlayStation. You have a lot of options. So the project properly replicates the feeling of Sonic's early 2000s adventures with fluid, snappy races through levels with multiple paths, something that we've seen that might give Apple Arcade another secret weapon, as it's already shaping up to be one of the more fun Sonic experiences since 2017's Mania. Okay, I mean, that's not really saying much. If they didn't like Frontiers, this, there's not that many games to choose from. Sonic Dream Team is a 3D adventure where Sonic and his pals zip through winding levels with several pathways. The amusement park gameplay is familiar, with characters homing in on enemies and objects with the press of a button, fluidly jumping between obstacles. Developer Sega Hardlight gets the formula exactly right by strongly magnetizing characters to objects. When I jump between rails, I don't have to worry about if I'm going to overshoot. Movement largely feels consistent, and it's where the studio's experience making tight infinite runners is more apparent. So, I mean, to me, that sounds like a little bit of automation might be present. Here's a picture of the game, by the way. It looks pretty good, man. A lot of people that hated the Frontiers art style are probably going to appreciate this. Structurally, Dream Team bears a surprising resemblance to classic 3D Mario games. Interesting. I don't know which games that they're talking about when they refer to this. Classic 3D Mario game would probably be Sunshine, Galaxy, and Super Mario 64, I guess. When I select a level, I actually get a row of different missions that have me completing various objectives in that stage. So right off the bat, that screams to me replayability. We're going to have multiple things to do in this game. We're going to be replaying the levels over and over again. If it's not to do the best time, which I'm sure will be an objective, it's going to be to complete the various missions that they have available for us. This is something that's actually akin to Sonic Adventure 2 when you think about doing missions in replayable levels. In one level, I simply had to get to the end as leisurely as I choose. Another variant has me racing through checkpoints as fast as I can, while a third has me collecting keys hidden throughout the stage. So exploration based, that's going to be really cool. So again, Sonic Adventure inspiration is definitely there. As far as how it plays, we're going to have to see. I don't know if it's momentum. I don't know if it's automated. I don't know if it's more of a boost kind of thing. We're going to have to see. Each grants me an orb, which I use to unlock new stages. So once it's kind kind of similar to Cyberspace. You had 4 objectives. Complete the 4 objectives, you will unlock the Chaos Emeralds or just the next objective in the game, the next levels, which is the case for this game. So it's just like Super Mario 64. A developer I spoke to at the event referenced Super Mario Sunshine as an inspiration, and that very much shows. Super Mario Sunshine, out of all the 3D Mario games, of course, is the one that's the most divisive, and so hopefully that's not the same case for Sonic Dream Team. He also name-checked Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which is surprisingly apparent too. So if you saw in the trailer of the game, there was the half-pipe elements and stuff like that, I would imagine that that's what he means, and maybe there's a trick system or something like that. Definitely the half-pipes are there, though, when he talks about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Levels are meant to be replayed in Dream Team. That's accomplished in a few ways. For one, there are multiple paths to explore any given level. I start one by sticking to the right, bouncing off some bumpers. Next time I jump in, I run over to the right lane using my homing attack to bounce up and some enemies and springs to get hidden collectibles. Each level has 5 red star rings, so red star rings are back, and a handful of hidden blue coins. So we have red star rings and blue coins, several collectibles. Replayability is going to be a factor with this game. It seems like this is going to be as close to SA3 as possible. Maybe something like Sonic 06 was trying to go for. I can also hold down a dash button to get the boost forward, which allows me to run up walls and access secret areas. So the parkour stuff is there. To me, this is kind of like a hybrid of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Lost World. It looks like Sonic Lost World 2, but it's actually good. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't like Lost World. The big draw, though, is that there are 6 playable characters, and that's not just cosmetic. Sonic and Amy are your standard hedgehogs, while Knuckles and Rouge the Bat can glide and climb up walls. Tails and Cream, on the other hand, you can use helicopter tails to reach high areas. So 3 different playstyles, 6 different characters. It makes sense. Levels are designed with pathways specific to those different abilities. In one level, I find a wall that I'm unable to climb as Sonic. I load back in as Knuckles, and suddenly I'm taking an entirely different path through the stage, which has me gliding between walls. Usually, I'd move on from a level to see something in a new demo like this, but I found myself replaying the stages several times and making new discoveries with each attempt. This, my friends, is the Sonic formula. Maybe they finally found their footing in 3D. Just kidding. Rough transition to 3D? I don't know. There are some movement hitches to that approach. Every character still has the same baseline speed and momentum. Momentum! Don't tell me momentum's in the game! Bro, if momentum's in the game, I swear, this might actually be one of the best Sonic games ever. I'm not even kidding. So they talk about baseline speed and momentum. I don't know if they know what momentum means, but we'll see. But their exclusive paths don't always account for that. One Knuckles segment has me trying to hop around small platforms in midair, which can be difficult to nail down when a character hits running speed so fast. Even so, movement felt mostly fast and smooth. Smooth movement. That's what we like to hear. For me, during my demo, especially on mobile, where it's minimal touch controls, do it all justice. So I'm sure playing with the controls is going to be the optimal way to play. More than anything, though, Sonic Dream Team simply has the right attitude. It sports a cheery visual design with soft textures and bright colors. Levels look almost like bouncy castles, which gives all an inviting, playful appearance. Despite being built for mobile devices, it might be the best looking 3D Sonic game yet, at least in terms of cohesive art direction. That's really awesome to see. I like that. As someone who has found recent Sonic games hit and sometimes very miss, Sonic Dream Team has my attention. The levels I played were breezy fun that took me back to my time with games like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on GameCube. So he's comparing this game to some heavy hitters. SA2, SA1, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine. He's comparing this game to highly respected and revered titles. That is something that I really like to see. That formula has been smoothed out by a development team that's very familiar with how to make snappy mobile games. If later, more challenging levels can still retain the level of fluidity and not give way to fiddly frustration, Sonic fans might have a very good reason to sign up for Apple Arcade soon. Sonic Dream Team launches December 5th on iOS via Apple Arcade. This is very promising news. Like I said, this might be the best Sonic game in a while. It sucks that it's locked behind Apple Arcade, but at the very least, all we can hope for is that the game is received well, and hopefully we can put the pressure to put this on multiple platforms. But let me know what you guys think about Sonic Dream Team down below.